Episode 75. Pokun shows a message of Eggman's to the heroes that reveals that the metrics are heading towards a certain galactic coordinate. How can there be galactic coordinates? Coordinates are based on the surface of a planet from the perspective of a satellite. He thinks that something extraordinary is happening somewhere every 1,000 years as the robots are panicking about the metrics attacking. Pokun says that he forgot these messages self-destruct at the end. Why hadn't he thrown the thing? I guess he did since the camera zooms out to avoid animating. You know, the last 2 times he used one of these messages, it didn't blow up. Tails says the controls here are hidden under the floor and he activates something on his wrist to reveal them. He says he built the secret bridge in case the original one got wrecked, and they still have enough power even with the damaged engines of the ship, somehow. The spaceship lifts into the air and starts flying. How does it do that without needing a runway to start flying? They fly towards the Metrics command ship, and 2 Metrics head towards them. The heroes agree to get to their spaceships and launch a counterstrike. Wouldn't it take a long time for them all to learn how to pilot these? Like years? It takes years to learn how to pilot a biplane. Maybe that's why I find it so ridiculous that Amy has a plane. Sonic gets given a ring by Tails so he can spin dash towards the Metrics, but somehow it effortlessly sends him away when that spin dash always slices through everything it heads towards. That's not a force field anyways. Rouge and Knuckles are told to get to the flight deck, somehow being expected to defeat the Metrics when they're not Sonic. They even get called weaklings, lampshading it. She causes damage to him, Knuckles gets shovel claws out of nowhere, and he's pathetic. Then Sonic is knocked away, and Amy fires missiles at the guy, which I assume won't damage him since she's Amy. Then we see that the Chaotix are giving a lift to Shadow so he can get to the heroes, and Shadow's an antisocial again by taking a hold of the controls and requiring them to build a new detective office. Vector also lampshades that he should thank him, and should at least tell him why Crash landed here. At least Shadow does tell him the answer. He at least has a social skill. But at this point, it's out of character since you'd expect him to say he doesn't have to tell him. Chris plans to fly into the command ship to pointlessly send the evil Eggman free. Seriously, the heroes have no reason whatsoever to be trying to free their mortal enemy, who's always trying to take over the world. They should just fight the Metrics and ignore Eggman the Cell. Espio turns invisible to make Metrics robots run into each other and get beaten. Deco fires a bazooka out of his head to break them out of the cell, so I guess he only waited this long to do this because he needed the heroes to give him a ride out of the spaceship, so if he hacked into their system right away, he wouldn't be able to escape. The ship's main power circuits had started overloading, and we see explosions all over it. Cream fires missiles at the Metrics and cutely celebrates a bullseye. I don't feel like it did anything though, I feel like they're all invincible until the final hit. And anyone could fire a missile. When she does something that anyone could do, that's not impressive. Dark Oak says to dismantle the outer hull of the ship. Why would he want to dismantle his own ship just to get rid of the heroes? I guess because they can survive flying in space just fine with their armor. And he's desperate, but still, what a waste of materials. Chris escapes in the plane, and Dark Oak stands on top of a big tree. Tails says the gravity's been distorted, and it's expanding rapidly here. And Dark Oak says that after 1,000 years of waiting, night and day will become one, and 2 worlds will come together. Earth and Mobius? It feels so arbitrary that it's after 1,000 years of waiting, at this exact point, for no reason, this is gonna happen. It feels like it came out of nowhere. Cosmo says it's a planet egg. How could night and day become one? That's impossible. They're polar opposites of each other. Eggman says that light is breaking through from a different universe, and Tails says a huge amount of energy is coming from that thing, which would overload his sensors. Sonic spin dashes ahead, taking him seriously, and Shadow wants to stop him before Force Station starts. Normally Sonic, both the franchise and the Hedgehog, are all about nature, so I'm expected to think more trees would be evil at this point. Imagine if this happened in SAT-AM, and the tree growers were the bad guys. Sonic and Shadow get sent away and land on a spaceship. Then the Metrics bad guys break free of their armors, looking nothing like Cosmo at all, and it's hard to tell what's going on. I just know something's destroying stuff. Stupid bright light and zoomed in camera. The Metrics look like dragons here. Why would they ever agree to that? How could they live normal lives like that? When they first lost their armors, I thought they were being defeated out of nowhere since they're all about their armor. Instead, Eggman says that Phase 1 of their forestation plan is done, and Sonic and Shadow dive towards some vines, and Sonic spin dashes through them while Tails sends some missiles to it. Sonic falls on the head of the dragon, and a whole bunch of metal doors close. Knuckles just assumes they're after the Master Emerald, though it is a powerful gem. Sonic spin dashes after inexplicably floating to save Amy from her destroyed spaceship, and the two of them are sitting on Metric's dragon. Amy tells Sonic he can't beat them. This should never happen. Amy's not Sally. She's supposed to have faith in him, not constantly worry about him. Sonic is sent around by some water out of nowhere and gets sent into the ocean. And apparently I'm supposed to know that Dark Oak swallowed Sonic? What a weird place to end the episode. Is there really anything for me to say about this episode? They rescue Eggman from a cell for no good reason, and the Metrics start transforming into dangerous dragons. Because I guess they're just that power hungry, and they want to take over the universe. Why do they have to wait until 1,000 years have passed to be able to transform like this? Sure was convenient for them that this light from another universe showed up for no reason, just to help them out. Why would they want to be dragons? How could they have normal lives like that? How could they play video games and watch TV like that?